It's time for the Brouhaha Sports Show. Brouhaha Sports with award-winning sports writer Dale McKee and co-host Marshall Wood. Talking sports with the legends of the game and famous sports personalities. Brouhaha. Now to Marshall and Dale with tonight's guest.
Good evening, everyone. Brouhaha time once again. Dale McKee sitting over there looking at me. Marshall Wood, glad to have y'all with us. How you doing, Dale?
I'm doing good. A little chill today, but all right.
Yeah, it looks like the wintertime not quite done with us yet.
Yeah, it reminds me of that 1961 song by Marty Robbins.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes-
Just 100 yards from Mary Ann's. Man, he almost made it, didn't he?
No,
They found him with his hands frozen to the reins.
no. This one was about it's warm one day and it's cold the next day.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, you know, it was really about love. The warmth of love and then the coldness of love. But Marty was really talking about the weather, I'm sure.
Well, I might follow up like Tina Turner said, what's love got to do with it? What's love but a secondary emotion?
You know, that was one of I went to see her in Hattiesburg one time.
You did not.
I did. She was at Southern Miss at Reed Green. Her and Ike. She was with Ike then.
I was way back.
Way back, yeah.
Yeah.
Early 70s.
Wow.
Yeah, early 70s.
I tell you what, Tina had a good run, buddy.
Boy, she could dance now. She could dance. She could sing too, but she could dance.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think Ike was from Mississippi, wasn't he?
I think you're right. I mean, one of them was.
And she was from Tennessee.
Probably Ike. She was up there Nutbush City Limits.
Yeah.
Nutbush City Limits or whatever
I
it
don't know.
was.
I was in Tennessee this week.
Yeah.
I went to Nashville, Corporation.
How things in Nashville?
Let's see. How was things? It was nice weather.
Was it?
Very nice. But you know, it's. I looked at something yesterday, Monday. I saw something that, and I don't think it's this far from here. Somebody posted snow up there at Mathis Peaches up there on 45. Snow.
Yeah. I saw that.
Snow. Snow.
That's what they said. Did they say? Well, I said they said it was it snow or accumulation of ice?
Well, I don't know. Somebody said snow, so I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know this. Checking the mail yesterday, I was pelted with ice. Walking up and down the streets here in Wansley, Mississippi, yesterday morning, 9:30. It was a steady falling of ice on me. It wasn't accumulating on the ground, but it was bouncing off my jacket.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ran into the church and I ran into Crazy K's yesterday.
Well, you ran into two buildings on the same day?
Yeah, I ran.
How's your truck?
Moving fast.
Oh, okay.
Moving fast. Well, I just got my truck back yesterday. Been up there in the shop up there at Cooley Motors. Can I say that on the air? So I'm naming all these places, you know.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a big Cooley Motor guy.
Okay.
They sponsor they a good sponsor of War Eagle football.
Well, you know, I'm kind of done.
Kinda?
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself short
They
now.
fixed my air conditioner like I need it.
Well, I'm glad you got it ready for the coast now.
There you go.
You had the game, big boy.
There you go.
Yeah. You got any sports news for us?
No, there's
Not a
nothing happening. Nothing happening in world sports.
Dang,
Anyway,
dadgummit.
so once Tommy Tuberville came up with an interesting point that me and you had discussed.
Yeah, I saw him on the TV. Tell him what he said.
Yeah, okay. He said, give them 5 years. They can play 4 and 5, and that's it. No more. And then
One transfer?
one transfer to your career, and you got to sit out after that, maybe, or you got to sit out. He said that will solve 80% of the problems, and I agree with him.
Yeah,
I mean, Ole Miss. I was watching the other day, and this guy who was playing really well for him, and one of the announcers said, "Well, this is his 4th school in 4 years." And he'd been to some pretty good schools, Kansas, St. John's. Why? Are you gonna get a degree out of this?
Who cares about a degree, Dave?
Well, evidently nobody does. All I know was when I was going to college,
Show me the money.
they got such stupid rules for college now, I don't believe it, just academic-wise, too. When I was going to college, you had to get, I don't know, like your last 36 hours had to be on at the university you're going to get to get the degree. You just couldn't come in there and say, get it over on, like a semester, 15 hours, or what it was.
Yeah.
So.
It's legal. These legalese. It's legal stuff. How about poor old Trinidad? He was set to make a whole bunch of money probably on being on the cover of that video game, and now because of his deal with the lawsuit and stuff, the trouble he's having with his eligibility, that cost him from being on the cover of that college.
Well, I also think of it like this. I don't know. EA should have. I mean, they knew he was going through all this stuff too. So, they probably had a backup plan all along. But I'm still concerned about Trinidad because of the. I've got two takes on Trinidad. I would really like his story to have ended when he was walking off the field in Arizona because.
Pretty good ending.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a fantastic ending. What if he comes back and doesn't do as well, or the team doesn't do as well, or as he gets hurt? I mean, it'll just be almost like, the ending just didn't end right for him,
Unless he makes the playoffs, it ain't going to end right for him.
Yeah.
And they get a lot of the people are saying, giving them 7.5 victories this year, and I'm kind of with them. They're going to have a hard. That's going to be tough.
Well, everybody in the SEC is going to be tough. I mean, I think the most in the SEC is maybe between 9 and 10 for Texas and Georgia, and but Ole Miss is in the top 8.
Yeah.
And that's where I mean, a couple of years ago, if you had told me they'd have been in the top 8, I'd have been very happy for them.
Yeah, it's top half, I guess.
Yeah, top half, and poor Mississippi State and Arkansas are struggling. They're only like 4.5, but they can change in a day.
Yeah.
If Trinidad doesn't play, does Ole Miss drop to 6.5 or 5.5?
I mean, probably 5.5. Yeah. That hasn't been said. We got a guest tonight?
We got old Bubba coming on.
Old Bubba.
Old Bubba.
Yeah. Shawn Bubba Wansley from Jones County Junior College, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he's going to talk a little bit about the Jones Bobcats basketball team going to the national tournament for the third straight year. But really, he's my NCAA basketball expert.
He's a basketball guy.
He keeps up with it.
Yeah.
He's going to tell us everything about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's take a break to hear from our sponsor, and Dale and I'll be back with tonight's guest, Shawn Wansley, right after this commercial break.
Phillips Building Supply in Laurel, your hometown building supply store since 1954. We are locally owned and pride ourselves on helping our customers find exactly what they need. From foundations to roofs to doors and windows, Phillips has it. For tools, hardware, lumber, and plywood, visit Phillips Building Supply.
Welcome to the show, Shawn Wansley, Sports Information Director at Jones College. Shawn, we thank you for taking some time with us today to talk a little basketball. First of all, how long have you been at Jones now? About 20 years?
I'm right at 20. Be finishing up 19 years this summer, so been there a while.
I bet. How's it changed, the media relations department over what it was when you started?
Oh, it's much different. There's a lot of different things that go on. It's technology is really a major difference between now and 2007. It's much more video oriented than ever, and there's things changing every day. It just gets more and more technical and up to date and modernized, I guess you'd say.
So the Jones Bobcats for the third straight year are going to the national tournament. Now the Bobcats, what kind of regular season did they have? Were they third or fourth in the league? What were their standings before they won the Region 23 tournament?
Yeah, Jones had a real good year again. We finished third in the conference in the MACCC. We had won it the previous 2 years, but I'll say, if you want to get Jones in basketball, this was the year to get them. We only have one sophomore on the team. Jay's a young man from North Mississippi. Glen Allen, Mississippi, went to Cordova High School in Tennessee. He's the only sophomore on the team. Very good 6-foot point guard. He's committed to Louisiana Tech. And the other guys, the freshmen, Dylan Rowe out of Madison Central, Braylon Barnes out of Brandon, Bob Dixon out of South Haven, went to high school in Memphis, Kieron Jackson out of Memphis as well. Just very, very talented guys, and they played pretty well for the most part. We lost some games in Florida early in the year. Very strong competition down there. Those Florida and Texas usually has the best JUCO basketball in the nation. And we lost a couple of close games in the regular season, but it set up perfect for Jones in the region tournament. The three teams that beat us in the regular season, Pearl River, Southwest, and Itawamba, we played them all right in a row in the postseason. We got a big win over Pearl River in the quarterfinals, a big win over Southwest in the semis, and then we beat Itawamba in a wild game, 102-96 in overtime to win it on their home court. So 24-9 for head coach Newton Mailer. Third year in a row to go to nationals, and only the fifth time in school history for Jones College to make it to Hutchinson, Kansas. 2014, Jay Ladner, his second year at Jones, took us to Hutch, and we ended up winning the whole thing. Still quite an amazing accomplishment to me. Then a couple years later, under Raheem Lockhart in 2017, we went. So I think we looked it up, they started region tournaments in 1949 for junior college. So from 1949 to 2017, we made it twice, and now we've made it 3 years in a row under Coach Mailer. So that's really quite an accomplishment for him,
That's
no
awesome.
doubt.
Yeah, now he played basketball down there for McKee Turk down at Southern Miss, didn't he?
That is correct. He played at Southern Miss. He's from up around the Memphis area, and he recruits that area quite well for Jones. He gets some outstanding players out of that Memphis area, northwest Mississippi, and mixes it in with some of these kids from Jackson, Dylan and Braylon Barnes, and those guys. Bobcats play an up-tempo, very good one-on-one players. They all can take it to the rim, as they say, but get a lot of assists. They do a lot of passing. They do a really good job. Our center, Bob Dixon, he's about 6'7", 225. He leads us in rebounding, about 9 rebounds a game. He had like a triple-double to start the year, like 17 points, 22 rebounds, and 10 assists. He's a very good player. He got offered by Memphis early in the season. So these guys, they'll end up playing D1 ball, most of our guys that have starred for us this year. So, yeah, Coach Mailer recruits quite well. Most of these guys come back next year. Jones will be hard to beat once again, I'll tell you.
Yes. Well, they've got the program in a great place, and I guess you have to give Coach Ladner a little credit for turning them around. I guess I say turning them around, but getting them to the next level back about 10 years ago or a dozen years ago. But they've had a great success ever since then. Now,
that's correct.
So, tell us one other thing. We're just going to discuss the NCAA tournament now. So I know the men's tournament seems to be more popular than the women's tournament. But just go over maybe the 4 or 5 teams that you think really will maybe do well in the women's bracket.
Well, it's the usual suspects over there. I guess UConn is going to be hard to beat once again. I mean, it's pretty much every year for them. I know in the SEC, South Carolina, they're always there. Texas with Vic Schaefer. I believe somebody told me he still has 2 ranches in Mississippi, but I don't think he's ever coming back here. He's pretty much got it made out there. UCLA is very strong again this year. It's hard to go against the traditional powers. Those teams will be difficult to beat. I know Ole Miss, I believe, is in the Sacramento region for the women. And, eventually, if they could win their first couple of games, they could end up facing UCLA if they get that far. But they got to beat, I guess it's Gonzaga first and probably Minnesota after that. But Coach Yo has them in a good place up there. They're always a perennial NCAA team ever since she got it rolling up there.
Yes, and they I think she's got them to what 5 straight tournaments now. And so I think she's the only, if I'm not, I hope I'm correct, they're the only team going bowling. I say bowling. They're the only team going to March Madness this year. Is that correct? I guess in the state.
In Mississippi, it was a very down year for basketball, especially on the men's side. Most of the schools, I think, had losing records. I know Ole Miss made a run to the semifinals in the SEC, and Southern Miss made a nice run to the semis in the Sun Belt. But for the most part, nobody was really ever in contention on that side. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next year, see if Ole Miss and State and the others can make some improvement.
Yeah, well, it's just hard when you're changing your roster. I know Coach Ladder down at Southern Miss, they ended up, I guess, 19-15. I guess they had the best record in the whole state, except for William Carey. Well, I take back William Carey men, they ended up 28-4 or something like that. They were probably the, I guess, leading program in the state, and that's misfortunate. But I never got a clue on this Ole Miss team. They'd play people pretty close until the last few minutes, and then they'd lose it during the regular season. Then in the tournament, it just seemed like they turned it around, and they were playing their best ball game, best ball in the last couple of minutes of each game. But anyway, so who are some of your picks nationally? You're talking about blue bloods. We got a lot of blue bloods still around, even in the men's game. Why don't you talk about a couple of them?
Yeah, it's on that side. I think you've gotten to the. I think last year they said it was pretty much favorites right down the line. Ended up doing the best on the men. I think it's kind of setting up for that again this year. I was reading a couple of numbers. All the number 2 seeds are favored by at least 20 points in their games over the number 15. That's the first time in 40 years that's happened. And the top 5 teams in each region are all pretty much favored by at least 8 points over the bottom 5 in their region, which that hasn't happened in quite a while either. And it's going to be hard to beat the usuals. Duke and Florida and Arizona and Michigan are the top seeds, and I think you'll see at least probably 2 of those make it all the way to the Final Four. And as far as some upstarts or whatever, just been looking at a couple of things. A lot of people, I'm talking about teams way on down the line. Virginia Commonwealth is getting some love, and Miami, Ohio, the team that was undefeated all year until they got to their conference tournament. A lot of people like them to win a game or two, and I saw St. Mary's is a popular pick. I know they beat Gonzaga pretty good this year out in that league. Utah State's another good underdog team you could look at, and not only Miami, Ohio, but Miami, Florida. A lot of people like them as well. So I think it'll be mostly favorites, but there's always going to be 1 or 2 on the first day or 2 that surprise you.
Is there anybody that you thought should have made the tournament that maybe didn't?
Don't really think so. I noticed they're praising Joe Lunardi today, the ESPN bracketology guy. He picked all 68 teams this year, and he had most of the seedings right on target as well. It's like they basically copied him, is what they did. And I think a team that kind of got in that surprised me was Texas. They're 18-14, and I think Mississippi State beat them in Austin, and Ole Miss should have beat them in Austin, and then they ended up beating them in the conference tournament. So I didn't think they would get in, but they did. And, of course, the big talk is Auburn. They'll be hosting in the NIT now against South Alabama. But, they played a great schedule and had some big wins, but they just lost a whole bunch of games. And, 17-16, it's hard to justify that. And it seemed like they lost only won like 3 games the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season. They just a lot of L's on the bottom of that schedule for them. So we'll see how if they're be motivated when they get to the NIT.
Well, I know Ole Miss, they went 1-12 over the final 13 regular season games before the tournament.
Yeah.
And the only win was over Auburn, and I believe they beat them at Auburn.
Yeah.
And so
They did.
Yeah, so that might have been a clincher for them right there. I don't think Coach Pearl over at Auburn, the dad Bruce, was on TV, and I thought he was going to cry once when they didn't make it. Yesterday, he seemed like real like he really thought they should have been in over there. I don't know who they'd have been in there over. Maybe I guess Texas would have been the only one they could have, but.
Bruce Pearl's a great coach, and it was kind of a surprise when he got out of it last year, and it seems like he kind of pressured them to hire his son, and those things usually don't succeed. I'm curious to see how long they go with the younger guy. I don't think he'd ever really coached basketball a long time before he got that job. He kind of assisted his dad for about 6 or 7 years, it seems, but we'll see what happens in the future with those guys.
Yeah, who was the guy up at in Chicago at DePaul that gave the job to Rod Meyer? Was it not Rod Meyer?
Yeah, it was.
Myers?
It was Ray Meyer.
Yeah, he
was a long-time coach there, and they pretty much gave it to his son Joey, and they never, Ray was there a long time and had a couple of really good years, but really never much special. And then Joey, I don't think he did much of anything, so they, kind of held on to him for a while. It did not work out there.
So who is your dark horse in the whole tournament? Somebody that a lot of people are not talking about that you think's kind of getting hot and ready to play. Is there a certain team?
Well, I don't know.
I'm thinking about Arkansas. I mean, I'm not trying to put words.
Yeah.
But I was just real disappointed that they got to go all the way to Portland, Oregon to play. They won the SEC tournament, and you got Kentucky going to St. Louis, which is, right across the river?
Yeah. That's kind of the way it is now. I know Calipari will make a big deal out of that. He's been upset a couple of times in the NCAA tournament in recent years with heavy favored teams. I would think they should beat Hawaii. It looks like they would play Wisconsin in round 2. On the other side, I'm looking at a team maybe like Nebraska. I think they had a really good year. I believe they're a 4 seed as well. They get Troy in the first round. Troy's had a good team all year, but Nebraska's been pretty spiffy the whole season. And another Big 12 team, I know they're highly regarded. I think they're a 2 seed, is Iowa State. They've been an impressive team all year. So it's going to be, as they say, it's always wide open. So we'll see what happens.
Shawn, this is Marshall. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of our time for tonight's show, and we want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be with us and what you bring to the Brouhaha table. Thank you very much for being with us, Shawn.
All right, thank you.
I'm going to ask you to hold on just a minute. We're going to take a break to hear from one of our sponsors, and Dale and I will be back with the final segment of tonight's Brouhaha right after this commercial break.
Phillips Building Supply in Laurel, your hometown building supply store since 1954. We are locally owned and pride ourselves on helping our customers find exactly what they need. From foundations to roofs to doors and windows, Phillips has it. For tools, hardware, lumber, and plywood, visit Phillips Building Supply.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Brouhaha. Oh, Shawn, he's been with us a couple, 3 times, and he's just an annual pilgrimage to the Brouhaha to fill us in on what's going on.
Especially the NCAA bracket, I like that.
Yeah, he
it's
knows.
a lot to keep up with. We got so many basketball teams. Did you hear some of those names he's mentioned? St. Mary's. Where's St. Mary's?
St. Mary's in the Northeast, ain't it?
No, it's in California.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that any St. Mary's out in California.
What state is Virginia Commonwealth College in?
Texas.
You're close. You're close there.
Hey, You're hammering me. I'm gonna ask you a question. I saw something in perusing through the sports pages of in the worldwide interweb or whatever that thing is, and the headline was the Dominican WBC loss ends on call strike that appeared low a week before robot umps arrive in MLB. Okay, now if they lost that robot umpires, is that what we're talking about here, Dale?
I think they're going. I don't know how that's going to work. To be honest with you.
Well, let me just tell you.
I don't know if it's technically a robot at this time. Now they might do it in minor leagues. I'm not sure, but you know, if you watch a baseball, I've watched some Atlanta Braves games and various major league teams last year on the Major League Network. But they would, if there was a close call, they would show you a little box and it'd say, okay, oh, he did get it right over. What people don't understand about baseball is there is the white part of the home plate. There's a white part. That's the strikes. The black rubber around the home plate is not in the strike zone. It's just the white part. I don't think a lot of people understand that quite a bit. I know the guys calling the game probably do, or they should. But you know, but I think the normal fan. But a high and low pitch ought to be, you know, if I was a coach and I was sitting in the dugout, I wouldn't argue about, most of the time, if you're going to argue about something, you don't argue about something inside or outside. You mostly argue about the high and the low pitch. Yeah. Now the strike zone is technically from right below your letters of your chest, okay, down to the top of your knees, okay. But when you lose a close game, you know, there's to me there's more than one thing causes you to lose the game. Are you telling me one pitch has cost you the ball game?
It could in the right circumstance.
Well, yeah. Well, what about back in the third inning when you know, didn't get that runner in, or you didn't throw the guy out at first because you fumbled him?
You're an old school guy that don't care if you get it right or not. You don't want them computers calling and making them strikes, do you?
No.
See, I'm different. I want to get it right.
Well, you play by what I mean, what's so great about it, I've told you before about basketball, you teach your kids, okay, this guy calls this guy calls this, we're going to have to watch out for this. Well, in baseball, it's the same thing. They're going over in the dugout. He's a low ball strike umpire. Okay, keep the ball low because he's going to call low strikes. Okay, and another one to say, hey, you know, don't throw it low because he doesn't call it there. You know, size has a lot to do with it.
Do you know what these guys get paid?
Who's that? Umpires?
The Major League umpires?
No, not really, but I'm sure they get good.
What would you guess?
I would say 150,000, 200,000.
The highest paid MLB umpires, typically veterans working postseason games, earn around $450,000 to $500,000 annually, with established umpires making $200,000 to $400,000, while rookies start out at $150,000 to $175,000. Save a lot of money with a robot back there taking pictures and getting it right. You still don't want that, do you? You don't care if it's right or not.
No, I think you ought to have the human input into that game. Really, honestly.
Whether they get it wrong or not, don't matter.
Well, somebody could play with that machine. You can't play with it.
Oh, that's baloney. You know.
Well, I'm trying to think of something here. Help me out a little bit.
We got a brouhaha going on here.
Help me out a little bit.
No,
how'd we get on balls and strikes, man? I mean, you didn't want the USA to win? Are you
I just
anti-American?
want it right, man.
Huh?
I don't want to win unless I win it right.
Well,
you take a win that wasn't right?
Well,
Not me.
Yeah.
No, sir. I played by
any
the
coach would take a win. It don't matter how you get it.
Listen, Dale.
You played to win the game.
That's right.
You played to win the game.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, folks. Just remember that. If you're going to play to win. We've come to the end of our time tonight. I want to thank Shawn for being with us tonight. We always enjoy having him with us, and Dale, I enjoy having you with me. I appreciate you, brother, and all you bring to the table every week. And, we want to remind you that you can keep up with us on Facebook at the Brouhaha, or you can listen to all of our shows that we got cataloged for you on our YouTube channel at the Brouhaha. But for now, it's time to say goodbye, Dale.
Goodbye, Dale.
Goodbye, Dale, and goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next week for more of the Brouhaha. Get us out of here, Jamie.
You've been listening to the Brouhaha with Del McKee and Marshall Wood. Heard Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. on WABO. For more of the Brouhaha, follow us during the week on Facebook and WABO.